So with the upcoming Grand Prix around Interlagos, Brazil, I thought I'd go with I thought I'd show you guys an in-depth track guide with brake markers, all that stuff. So, obviously getting a good exit from the proper final corner really. Keeping it wide, open DRS, down in 8th gear. So, coming down into turn 1, you're going to be wanting to brake at the 50 or probably just a bit before for consistency in a race situation. So coming down into 4th gear, try and touch the curb but don't go over it, as this bump right where my tyre is can really unsettle the car, and you can spin, or it's not consistent at all. 4th gear, like I just said, you want to cut this, but obviously don't cut too much or you'll get an invalidation. Keep it tight, but on the exit of turn 3, you want to run out wide. You don't want to be over here, as there can be a few bumps. Like there are so many bumps on this game. You can lose about half a tenth there, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. Coming down into turn 4, you're going to be braking just after the 100, down into probably 4th or 5th gear. I mean, you could brake just after the 100, but probably only in a qualifying situation. I run it into 4th gear. You can really stomp on the throttle acceleration coming out of that corner because of how wide it is. So coming down into, I don't know the names of this corner. You want to be not really braking. You want to have the amount of brake I've got applied at the moment is probably about how much you want to be doing. Continuing on the throttle. For the second apex over here, you're going to want to do this flat. Otherwise you can just lose too much time. If you need to take the curb, take the curb. Just make sure you do that flat. For this corner, there isn't really a braking point, so what I'd recommend is after you come through that second apex, as soon as you get the car straight, that's when you can brake and turn in. So there's not really a way I can show you, but once you get the car straight, then you can brake. But that's quite a few of these corners you have to practice in order to get feel comfortable with where you're braking. So now this corner, you want to cut as much as possible, but without invalidating. It's risky, but it's worth it. You gain a lot of time. On the exit of this corner, once again, you can really stamp on that accelerator, and you want to kind of run wide a bit, but then cut back. And I like to shift into 4th gear just to get a decent exit. Let me just reverse a bit. So for this corner, there's no brake marker or anything. So I would recommend on the right, where this curb starts here, I'd brake there, go down into 3rd. You don't want to be using 1st or 2nd gear on this game. It's just pointless, to be honest. Don't run over the curb, because you can see the elevation. It's flat here. You could use this bit, but don't go too high. See where my wheel is, down and then up. So you can run it out wide a bit. You do have to be a bit careful, I've noticed, on the exit here. I think because of the elevation, you can see right where the apex is, it's lower, and on the exit, elevation changes. So you just have to be a little bit careful, as the car can get a little bit unstable. So flying down through here into the proper final corner, really. There's not really a braking point, again, just like the corner a few corners ago. So I'd recommend just keep trying until you find a braking point that you feel comfortable with. So it's a shame, really. There's not really a obvious marker. Maybe here would be perfect, but like I said, you need to do some laps. Say you've got a league race, you need to practice, find a good braking point, where you feel comfortable, that you can do consistently over a race, laps after lap after lap. And then you could also look at finding a qualifying thing where you're pushing. So you need to get a good exit out of there. I'd recommend 4th gear for the traction, 3rd possibly, but recommend 4th. Of course, in a hot lap situation, keep it tight. DRS wide open, up into 7th gear, into 8. You want to try and cut as much as possible with your tyre right up into the white line, shortening the distance. It does gain you quite a lot. So on a hot lap qualifying situation, definitely do that. But for example, you know, say you're just doing it in a normal race, you know, lap 5 or something, just keep it wide or anything. But yeah, so that is a track guide of Interlagos, Brazil, ready for the up and coming race weekend.